First off, I think it is just a challenge of the educational content creation process, the tutorial content creation process. Most of my most popular videos are an hour plus long. And to be honest, I feel like many of those courses, I might have spent 20 to 40 hours in total making that 1 hour video because you're planning, you're filming, you're editing. It all takes a lot of time. And I think that there's, in some regards, no getting around that. But there are some things that have definitely helped me out. One is on the actual video editing side. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I don't think it really matters what exact software you use, but one thing that has helped me out a ton is developing some shortcuts. So if there's a routine that I'm doing a ton, I have like very much shortcut keys that I can just press on my keyboard to do that. So a lot of times it's like just slicing clips and like pulling them back. I just have one key I press, it does that automatically for me. A lot of good tutorials on YouTube on how to do that and learn different key presses, different strategies like that. Another thing, and this is definitely, only accessible to a certain number of people. It might be tougher if you're just getting started, but leveraging outside resources more and more is one thing that I've been trying to do more recently. So having an editor that I work with, and how I've approached this is I've made a couple looms of my editing process. I've just videotaped what I'm doing to edit, showing the steps I take, and I've passed that to my editor and say, hey, can you do this process for me? So I also have limited time to make videos. So by, bringing in other people, I can kind of parallelize and really focus on what's most important, which is the actual recording of the tutorial and not focusing as much time on the retroactive editing of the tutorial. One final piece of advice, I recommend building like a content library. So any sort of things that you do routinely in your videos, just having a folder of all of those resources ready and handy that you're always adding to, that you can always just quickly pull from. So if there's an end screen that you have, just have that already pre-made and just pull it in.
Yeah, that's really good. Matt, Dima, anything to add?
Yeah, I would agree. So the same technique works for text as well, because I don't work with video, but if you ever do the same with text, so it's good to have all the drafts in one place, and then you can copy paste or just add the reshuffling around that. So it's really useful.
Yeah, so you need to create a process roadmap, really create a roadmap of the content you want to do, really spend time, really mapping out what content that you're creating. So for example, if I was creating something about AI strategy, then I would start breaking it down. So break it down to its smallest parts. So your goal, you have to think about what your larger goal is, what's your audience. If your audience is, hey, I want to talk to executives or VPs or whatever about how to do AI strategy, for example. Then break it down into the smaller parts, define it. What are the fundamentals? These sort of parts. Each of those can be a video, an article, or something else. And then when you have each of those on there on the roadmap, rearrange them. After rearranging them, start actually thinking about the objectives. What does the audience want to do? And limit it down to 2 or 3 that you want them to have. Because sometimes some of the best articles I've found, great amount of information, very interesting, but the point's hard to understand because they're so rambling. So a lot of this I found out goes down to process orientation. So if you have work or something happens and just say, oh, okay, I can't do it, then you can always go back to that roadmap and say, hey, this is where it is in the sequence. And it also gives you a chance to be able to link back to, let's say, a video or an article that you had before, which enhances the theme and brings people back in and keep going at it.